right. Good morning. Let everybody get in here and we'll start taking a look at some things. It is Cinco de Mayo, mi amigos. Happy Cinco de Mayo. See if we can make some money today. Let's take a look at this scanner, see if anything new has popped up. I don't see anything new really, and the only stocks don't have much volume. Alright, so let's take a look here. Mark, been running with volume. It's not had a press release. But yesterday it went from 50 cents all the way up to 83 cents. This morning in pre-market got all the way up to $1. So if it could break $1, some potential there. Quite a bit of volume already this morning. DFFN, they've got an accelerated review. It's regularly, let's see, what does that say? FDA's treatment acceleration program significantly shortens regulatory review. So the stock has gotten some volume. Went from 51 to 70 cents. Right around 63 right now. Kind of a little triangle-y flag going on. SGBX makes me real nervous. They do have a distribution kit, but they also did a public offering. Or they're filing for an offering. So I don't know. It had a nice run this morning, and then an offering came out, I think. Let's see, when was that? 6:15. Another offering came out before that, so I don't know. Pretty much sold off since the initial run there, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. GMPX, though, I do like. They have exclusive worldwide patent and technology license agreement. So that's a double whammy there. Got a patent, which patents usually don't do much, but worldwide licensing agreement, that's pretty big. I don't have any problems with that. I like to see us come down to 3. Or maybe back to the 9 or the VWAP, something like that. It's a little high up right now. But I like it. Out of everything, GMPX is my favorite so far. Capper, I'm still keeping an eye on. It's just been making nice little quick moves at the bell the past 3 days. So, if it could re-break 7 again, there's possibly ability. You could get 50 cents or $1 out of it. RVP doesn't have a lot of volume today, but it ended up ripping yesterday after I had jumped out of it later on in the day. It ended up ripping to $5. It pretty much held its gains. It's had a bit of a sell-off, but maybe if it starts coming back up to 5, I think it's gonna probably sell off today, probably down to 4, and have that little red middle candle, and then tomorrow we could have that continuation, is what I'm thinking. So I'm just watching it today. I don't really think it's gonna do anything, but I think for the next day it could. Then LPCN, they cleared their phase 2 of their drug for psoriasis, I think, or is that I don't know. They cleared a phase 2. It's not that big a deal, but possibly. It doesn't have any volume. The only reason I like it is because it has this giant gap back here. If it was to ever get over 93 cents, it's got a gap at least to $1.41. What's up, One Life? Good morning. And then we've got VERU. And it says they plan to meet with the FDA to gain agreement for their phase 3. They had positive 1B and 2 phase trials. but not doing anything at the moment. So, I don't know. SPY's coming up today. Well, what I'm seeing on the SPY's on a trend line right now. This little bounce that it had this morning kind of confirmed this trend line that started. So I'd say the SPY is going to keep going up as long as this trend line is holding. But we'll see today if it cracks back down and tries to test again or whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be pretty patient today. Wait everything out. Try to find a pretty easy play because I've been getting all these small losses. So I want to look for an easy play. But I like GMPX. GMPX above all indicators. It's above $3. It's got some resistance at 375. If it could break 375, it's got a little resistance at 4. Then after 4, you know, it's pretty much wide open up to 5, 6, and 7. But very good double press release here, patent and license agreement. So we'll see what happens. We got like 4 minutes left here. Oh, let's see. Let's see if Tzu's doing something interesting. No. There's a lot of stocks on this scanner already this morning. See, I think let me put CLS. See, what was it? Why did I take this off? Oh, yeah, okay. CleanSpark increase in year-to-date revenues through April 20th. That's a good thing. This guy moved from 140 all at 245. Been trading sideways, kind of consolidating. But it has some potential. Very low float. Very, very low float. GMPX busting down that 375 area. So GMPX is kind of on a trend line, or it is on a trend line basically. Which basically that trend line is right where the 9 is, so you really don't need the trend line, you just follow the 9. And we got 2 minutes here, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm not gonna jump off the ship. First 30 minutes, I'm gonna wait, let things maneuver around. What's up, Josh? Good morning. And then after the first 30 minutes, maybe I'll start looking for a trade. I may wait even longer today. I really want to give everything a chance to work itself out. And I don't want to take any risky trades. I said I've been taking some small losses from not locking in profits. So today I'm mainly focused on a very easy, quick play for a decent profit somewhere. You see, I got a little bit of support and resistance marked down. Keep my eye on SGBX just in case, but it is back in this kind of channel area between that, what is that, 580 support and 650 resistance. But that offering makes me nervous. Let's see. The offering that people could just sell it. But yeah, I'd like to see in the first 30 minutes some of these stocks not do anything so I can narrow this list down. I want to narrow the list down and then make a decision on where I want to try to find something at, if something presents itself. Like I said, I'm not going to force anything. I'm trying to be very Very disciplined today and patient. So GMPX right now ripping right over $4. Up to 415. A little bit of resistance there at 415, so that might get held up. Man, looks like it's going to. It's going to go back up and test again, maybe. Let's let this guy shake out for a minute and look at everything else. Mark selling off. DFN sideways. SGBX really selling off. If it cracks this, looks like it's going to. I'm gonna give that a second, but if that cracks this bottom support here, then I'm gonna take it off the list. It's not gonna do anything. Let's see, GMPX back up. Okay, about to. Well, no, I thought it was about to get halted. It looked like it was about to. So a lot of volume coming in on GMPX so far. 471 is probably your next resistance. 450, 471, but this is a nice rip right out the gate so far. From 368 to 441. I don't know if anybody caught that rip right there at the VWAP. If you you possibly could have got in right there on the VWAP, but it'd be a little risky to me. But whatever, it's possible. Let's see, Mark holding up there. DFFN selling off, so I don't think anything's going to move there. SGBX held up so far. Okay. So yeah, right now it's PTLA. Okay, there's a reverse stock split. Just looking at some of this stuff. Here we go. Taco. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you get in there, it's pretty risky. But it would have paid off today, but it is pretty risky. Yeah, so right now the only thing I see doing anything is GMPX. Let's see, SGBX is starting to come back up a little bit though. Yeah, exactly, Josh. That's a good idea. That's the same thing I was thinking. Just wait for an entry. No reason to try to chase in this candle, because we could have a sell-off and then it could U-shape around. Let's see, when's this candle close? This candle closed about a minute 20 seconds. If this comes down any lower, this is going to be a pretty big upper shadow. So there'll probably be a sell-off if it doesn't. If this candle doesn't close above 4, I'm gonna venture to say there's gonna be a sell-off. I'd like to see this. If this could sell off and get back down to 325, that would be a pretty decent entry. It's gonna be. Let's see, SGBX coming up some more here. Trying to break out of this channel again. So we got 20 seconds to see. It looks like it's going to close over 4, so it might be alright. Actually, 325 might be too low. 350 would be a pretty good entry, I think. That candle actually opened up good. This is probably going to rip some more. Yeah, RVP, like I said, I don't know if it's going to do it today. I kind of expect this candle to turn red, but you know, maybe. It had such a good press release and it didn't go on a run until late. So it is possible that it could still rip today. I'm not totally against that idea. Let's see, where's Mark at? Mark slowly coming up. Okay. There we go. So now GMPX is starting to come back down a little. I'd like to see it. I'm down a little bit more than this though. That $4 support is really trying to hold up. And we got a little bit longer. Hold on. All right. So looks like it's gonna. Looks like it got a little bounce off of 4. Let's see. Yeah, SGBX might test. Let's see. CLSK coming up. Let's see what it does. If it can break back over 2, there might be some potential there. Out of here. Some higher price stocks moving today. BIOL. I'm testing that $4 support again. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to have a little bit of a sell-off. Testing the VWAP. See what happens on this. Let's see if this cracks the VWAP. Looks like it's going to start. There it does. There it goes. Hmm. See, we're gonna crack the 9 here. If it cracks the 9, I'd like to see 350 hold up. That would be a good spot. Yeah, it looks like it might crack the 9. I'm gonna give that a second. Let's give that a second. Let's look around again. Mark, nothing. SGBX still sideways. Oh, look at there. RVP. RVP is popping up so far. I don't know how much it's going to get on that continuation, though. LPCN popping up a little bit, but... So yeah, looks like we're gonna crack the 9 here. Well, the 9's still holding up. For now, let's see what we got. 2.5 minutes on this candle. See, we got down to 355. I thought about putting a limit order in at 357. But I'm concerned it might sell off more. I'm starting to get a little bit of buying at 365 here. We're starting to come back up. I like how it's trying to hold the 9. We got a minute for this candle to close. And now we're pushing back up to 380. So might have missed the opportunity there at that drop. Possibly. I mean, if you could have got in at 354, you'd already be up 25 cents a share right now. This is a strong close on this candle. Very good close there. Put a limit order in down here at 370. Let's see. Put a limit order. Let's put it in at maybe too low though. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a very clean setup for sure. I mean, it tested the 9 and then came back up. There was an opportunity there. Looks like it might try to retest 4 again. Yeah, it looks like it is going to test 4 here. Oh, nope. Got right up to 4. And just had to pull back a little bit. See anything else going on? See, this is what I'm looking at. The 9 is doing the 9 thing, but there it goes, starting to test 4 again. Well, see, we're on this trend line, and that's what I was talking. That's what I was kind of looking right there at that bounce. Starting to come up some here. Let's see if I can get filled at like 405. And then I'm going to put a stop loss. Well, no. Let me think. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get filled at 405, the limit order. And then I'll put a stop loss right under 4. I may not be able to get filled, though. So it's starting to push up quite nicely. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get filled. It's pushing up to 420 now. So very nice rebound. Nice bounce off of the 9 so far, off of this trend line. But maybe if it gets held up there. So where to get held up at? 425? Yeah, if it gets held up at 425, maybe it can come back down to 380 again. Maybe possible entry there. Maybe. Because it may not come back down. Ooh, nice upper shadow. It might come down. Let's see. What has it got? 50 seconds left on this candle. Like I said, I want an easy, clear setup. I don't want to force anything. And I'm not trying to force anything on this, but it does have a lot of potential. But I want a good entry on it if I'm going to get in it. There we go. Come back down some. That was a good open on that candle. See if I can get filled. I may have missed getting filled at 405 again. I'm going to try. You just dip down just a little tinge there. Yeah, the chat is quiet this morning. A lot of people in chat, but it's pretty quiet. Actually, I think I may be able to get a better entry. I think it's going to pull back below 405. Yeah, it is. Okay. So that was a split-second decision right there I just made. I don't know. It's really struggling to get back above 4, so actually I'm gonna hold off on this. Like, it is making a nice little U shape, kind of still riding up, but I would like to see it. I'd like to see it actually crack this trend line and come back down that 350, 325 area. It may not, though. I don't know. That's second guessing myself. I don't know if I should second guess myself. I think I'm going to regret second guessing myself. Yeah, 380 entry at 375 area. That's where I want to get it at. But I don't know if it's going to get back down there. Because it really hasn't had a big rip yet. I mean, this is a decent rip, 368 to 441. That's a pretty nice rip, but the range on this chart and past rips before it can have really big rips. Yeah, I think I'm going to miss out on this one, at least for now. Maybe not. It's still struggling. I am going to wait, though, before I try to get entry, because I do have to go for a few minutes here. I don't see anything else doing anything either, though. That's the thing. This stock has like all the potential in the penny stocks right now, because it's the only thing doing pretty much anything. Oh, LTPH, LP. Man, that got a big move. I don't know. It looks, man, GMPX is looking pretty strong. If this candle closes over the VWAP, then that'll be a pretty good sign of strength. I might look to enter. We got 45 seconds to see where it closes at. Looks like it's going to be a pretty strong close here, too. Oh, maybe not. Coming right back down. This is a little interesting. but that's a pretty good close. We're starting to kind of do a little reverse U shape here. Possibly if it comes back down anymore. Possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Give me just a couple more minutes. What's up, Mark? Good. All right. So good thing it didn't get in there. PTLA. Yeah, it's definitely probably fixed at 18. I mean, it could move. You never know with stocks, but most likely it's not going to. So I'm glad I waited on GNPX. I'd like to see it now come back around. Kind of curl around here. We are still building a little bit of higher lows. But I like this area a lot better than where it was at. Let's see, SGBX cracked that. So I'm going to take SGBX off. Capper not doing anything, so we'll take Capper off. Let's see. RVP actually climbing up the VWAP in the 9, so that's kind of nice. 360. 360, let's see, what is it right here? 357. So basically 355 is a pretty good support area. But I'm going to give us a few minutes to figure itself out. CLSK starting to come back up again. LPCN, no volume. And VRU, no volume. So now I've got my list down to 4 stocks. DY, oh wow. That's just ripping straight up, no reason at all. So I'm gonna stay on my watch list, I think, unless something comes out with some news. But GMPX is pretty much my focus today. I want to see. We're kind of making that little U shape now, possibly. You're in at 383. Not bad. It's not a bad entry. I'm just trying to fill it out a little bit longer to make sure it's not going to sell off, because right now it could still sell off. And I kind of want to see where this candle closes before I look for an entry, and that's 4 minutes away, so I don't know if it's going to be a good idea or not. But I like how we're starting to consolidate now. Kind of got a lot of support under us. Cause you got some at like 369 at the bottom of these candles. And then you got some more right here at the bottom of these candles. Kind of at 358. So there's a little bit of support here. I could look for an entry here and put my stop loss. Let's see, where's that at 356? If I got an entry here at 375. Let's see, 375 starting to crack though a little bit. Yeah, I want to wait for this candle to close, because right now it could just dive off of a cliff. I mean, there's some good support, but still. Let's see if this 375 area holds up. Because I might get in a little higher than 375 by waiting. But if 375 doesn't hold up, then it could drop off. So I'd rather get in with some upward momentum, because right now we don't really have any upward momentum. We're going sideways. CLSK is slowly creeping up. See, we tested $2 twice so far. Let's see where that candle closes on. CLSK. Let's see, GMPX starting to come back up now. Okay. So this candle actually is going to close pretty decently. 30K buy just came in at 380. Oh, I just saw it. I just saw that. So let's see. See if I can get filled at 386. May not be able. Let's see. Oh, it came down to 387. I may not be able to get filled on that limit order. Just trying to get a better entry, because if it doesn't break 4, which it looks like it's about to, yeah, it is about to break 4. See, the 9's at like 387 now. So I'll move my limit order up to 392. Did it move up? Let's see. I can't tell if it moved up or not. I may not get filled this way. Oh, CLCK just started breaking 2. Damn, I missed it while I was looking at GMPX. Let's see a pullback on one of these. Although GMPX looks like it's got a lot of potential right now. Testing this 410. See if I can get filled at 4 on this. So we got 3 minutes on this candle. There you go. Nice job, Josh. I really don't want to get filled at 4, so I took that order out. 4 is starting to hold up. I'm going to try again. I'm going to try 401. See if it comes back down to 401 before this candle closes. I think I'm going to get filled again. Oh, no, I'm not. Big 50,000 share order just came in, so damn, I missed that. I think I missed my opportunity to get in this multiple times. Yeah, this is about to rip. Trying to here. So that's unfortunate. That's all right though. We'll get in. Oh, come on, quit with all that. There we go. Yeah, I think this is gonna rip. Let's see, it's breaking over that 425 now. 441 is the next resistance. See, come back down. Have a pullback before you try that high. I'm gonna put my limit order in back at like 402 just to see if it has a quick sell off and see if I can get filled. It probably is not going to have a sell off, but it could. So just in case. There you go. Nice job, guys. Nice job. Nice. Josh with his first $100 day. Good job, buddy. Oh, yeah. This is ripping now. Okay. So he made a new high. So now I'm going to have to wait for another pullback. So I missed my opportunity there. But some of you guys got in there. So good job, everybody who got in there and made some profit today. But I'm not gonna buy up into this move. Gotta wait for some type of pullback. See RVP doing much? Not really. Get out of here. I'm going to go just small position here on CLSK. And I'm going to put a stop loss right below. CLSK was the other one I was watching. It's very low float. And it's above everything here. So I'm going to put a stop loss right at, let's see. Got filled at 2. Let's put a stop loss at like... No, let's see here for a second. Let's see what this is going to do. I'm starting to get some support here at $2 too. This might be a slower play until it gets volume, but 93, 191, be 9 cents. Yeah, I'm just gonna put a tight stop loss there. Nice, Dom. Good job. Y'all killing it. I'm just going to see if CLSK gets a little attention. a small little position there, because that was my other watch, and it did break 2, and now it's holding above 2, so it's a possibility it could get a move back up to this 220 area. But I'm still focused on GMPX. I'd still like to get an entry on this somewhere. If we could pull back to the 9, or have some type of pullback. Let's see, CLSK coming up a little bit here to 204. All right, Mark, good job. Hey, you know, if you make it a profit, any type of profit, you know, if you're having FOMO and all that for missing out on GMPX, then just call it a day. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, Josh, man, good job. Congratulations on your first $100 win, buddy. I'm proud of you. Been in the chat for a long time, so I'm glad to see it. Doing good, man. You're doing good. I like SL's, you know, what is this? Year-to-date revenues increase. That's pretty nice. So CLSK does have some potential as long as it can keep riding up the 9. That's what I want. I want this to just ride the 9 until it can get some attention. GMPX looks like it might try to test this 455 area again. Let's see, SLCK starting to come up a little bit. It was all the way up to, oh, there's a nice pop up, 207. Level 2 in my, there we go. So this guy might be a little bit slower. A good pullback on GMPX, coming back down here to the back here to the 9. So I want to let that kind of wobble around a little bit and see if I can get a predictable entry maybe. See, CLSCK about to start taking off here. It's a 210. Starting to slowly climb back up to that 220 area. Let's see, 215 area. That's where the resistance is at, 215. So I'm up about 10 cents so far on this stock. The slow little moving guy starting to move over 210 and starting to test 210 a little bit. Hmm. Yeah, good job, everybody, for real. Hmm. I don't know what CLSK is going to do. I'd like for it to at least test 215. I'd probably lock in there. So we got 50 seconds for this candle to close. If this candle closes over 2, that would be a really good show of strength. About 5 more cents. You just come up about 5 more cents. A lot of resistance at 210 here. Oh, and that's getting broken down though. There we go, over 210. Oh, no, back down to 212. I mean, back down to 206. Got a 6-cent spread right now. And I'm actually going to move my stop loss up to $2. So if it doesn't keep climbing, then I'm not going to take a loss. I'm going to break even. And I'm fine with that. But I'm going to move it up, and that's fine. Give GMPX a little bit longer. Let's see, are you going to get up there and test that 215 area? Oh, it's starting to move up a little bit here. Let's see what 215 looks like. It's not that much selling at 215, really. Oh, we're breaking through 215. So we're doing a nice little slow creepy creep, and I like nice little slow creepy creeps. Up to 220 here. Trying to get up to 220. Ooh, some buying starting to come in here a little bit. So now I'm gonna put my stop loss at 205 so I can at least guarantee lock in something and gives us a chance here to see if it's gonna push over 220 or not. Ooh, a lot of buying just came in there. 217. We're starting to get some action on CLSK. This might actually rip harder than I thought it was going to rip if it keeps this buying pressure up. Oh, and we're going up through 220 right now. So we got all the way up to 225. See if it can break 225. I'm gonna see if I can get hit and filled here at 225. See if I can pop out of this real quick. Oh, actually, hold on. It might actually try to rip here. Let's see, 215. Starting to have a pullback here. And the 9 is right at 205. Yeah, I'm just going to put a stop loss at 204 right under the 9 and see if it's hold. Well, I don't know. I might get... Put it there for a second while I'm looking at... Okay, I kind of like where we're at on GMPX, though. For 15. Oh, unless it sells off. Let's see, what do we got? Okay. Is this going to try to push through 225 here? It is going to try to push through 225 here. So I'm going to try to put a limit order for a sell in at 230 and let's see if I get filled at 230. Some selling there. So struggling a little bit with 230. Come on, just push up there just a little bit further. God, it came right up to it. So I have a little bit of a pullback now. I like the locked out there at 230. It was 1 cent away from where I wanted to lock out at. Well, I may. But I was just trying to get out at 230 and get a nice little 40 something dollar profit. But oh, it's starting to break through 230 now. I should have took that limit order out. Let's see. See, the buyer just came in at 230 actually, so I'm going to actually hold this a little bit longer. There we go. Nice rip up. All the way up to 238. And I'm actually going to try to attempt to put a limit order in at 245 if it can push up to there. Actually, no. I'm going to lock out. I'm just going to lock out here. $45 profit. I'll take it. Yeah, I already saw. I was looking for 230, and then I was like, you know what? This is more than I wanted. It looks like it might actually run some more, possibly, but this is going to be a tough area. So I'm good with that. $45 profit. Not bad. On a few shares. 150 shares, $45 profit. I'll take it. Now back to this beautiful GMPX that is making this beautiful trend line. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. You know, if you're new, you're paper trading. Now, if this breaks 245, if this breaks 250, it's got room all the way up to 344. I don't know. I mean, that possibly could happen. I wasn't even sure it was going to get back up as high as it did. I was just looking for that 225, 230 area. But it sure enough is getting back up in that 240 area, so not bad. But it could get hung up here very easily. That would be my concern on it. So now I'm going to see if I can get an entry right here on GMPX, I think. Let's see, when does this candle close? Maybe. Give me just a second, guys. Alright. Okay, so this is what I wanted to wait and see on GMPX, if this trend line is going to hold up or not. Because this could sell off. It's been going... You know, it's been going up for a while. This is a pretty long trend line. And CLSK is actually trying to test that 245 area. And CLSK does have a very low float, so if enough buying volume comes in, like we've not had a million share candle yet of volume, but if a million share candle comes in, we could see this rip hard if it breaks through this 245. And then I would be kicking myself, but that would be okay. I don't kick myself. I'm happy with that. I executed that trade well. Nice $45. At no point in time was I down on that trade, so that's a nice thing, which is why I wanted a good entry. And getting in at that $2 area was a decent entry. Ooh, big buyer just came in at 243, 17,000 shares. Yeah, this is about to move. Let's see what 250 looks like. Not a lot of selling at 250, so this is really starting to rip. So I did get out a little bit early, but that's okay. I'm not terribly mad at it. I mean, let's see, where's the next resistance at after 250? $3. So yeah, this possibly could run to $3. So very nice rip so far. And GMPX really cracking that trend line right now. So GMPX is probably going to have to come back down quite a bit. But CL and GMPX probably will come down some more because all the attention is going to start going to CLSK. You can see there wasn't much volume. It was just kind of slow buying volume building up. And that's why I like this, because you had a little bit of buying there, a little bit of selling. Like the buying was outweighing the selling just by looking at the volume bars that had been happening. And now you can see see right there, we got over 1 million in volume on that one candle, and we got this nice rip over 250. So very nice. This has been an extremely predictable play. I was really nervous and second guessing myself, and I shouldn't have been, because we've not had that predictability in a lot of the plays, but this was extremely predictable, which is nice. I'm glad to see some predictability in this market. All the way up to 280. Like I said, this could go all the way to 3. Did anybody else besides me and Epic get in on this? What a nice run so far. So I definitely dropped out. Definitely got out a little too early, but I'm alright with it. Like I said, there for a minute I wasn't sure if it was even going to get up to 230, so this is a nice run. Very nice run. Yeah, you can see its trend line's cracked now on GMPX, so now it's got to kind of do a little U-shape around if it's going to do anything else. RVP kind of holding up. You're stuck with what? Why did you trade what? What's going on with what? Oof. Where did you get in on what? Because this is it got held up by that 200-day moving average. I mean, I kind of like the daily chart pattern. I like this kind of U-shape it's making on the daily. But I don't know how much it's going to rip today. You don't have a lot of volume. And you don't have a press release. You had one yesterday, I guess, so that's not bad, but... Gotcha. I mean, I'll just, probably have a pretty tight stop loss. But it is holding up the VWAP in the 9. If it can break 260, you could get a nice little move. Yeah, there you go. That's not bad, Epic. As long as you got a plan. That's what day trading is all about, is having a plan. And that's why I've been, like, very specific and not able to make my mind up on plays today, because I've been trying to control the things that I struggle with. Like, I struggle with emotions and discipline, so I'm trying to be very disciplined. Now, I still got funds to trade, so I mean, if I see something else that's an opportunity, I'm going to take it, but Right now, I'm not. Yeah, see, this trend line is not. Yeah, the trend line's gone. So at this point, it's kind of risky. I think this is going to. I don't know. Yeah, CLSK is definitely going to go back down. It didn't quite get to 3. I'm not sure where 285 was at that it got hung up at. Maybe right through here. Yeah, so right through here, it's kind of in this area is right where that. Well, right, something like that. Oh yeah, you can see at the bottom of these 3 candles is kind of in that 285 area, but still, it was a good run. It was a good run. There you go. Nice job, One Life. One Life is the professional. Oh, I'm sorry, Jennifer. I didn't see your question. I still don't see your question. I see Mark Dalton answered your question. Oh, there she is. She retracted her statement. I'm not sure. If you have any questions, Jennifer, free feel to ask them. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. Ask all you want. Okay, so confirmation. Confirmation is tricky. Uh, Confirmation is very tricky, but basically, like for example, CLSCK. I've been watching it all morning. I was watching GMPX, but I was really keeping a close eye on this one because I like the press release, like I said. But it was slowly building higher lows and coming up, and it broke over the VWAP here, and this candle held. And then this one popped up to that 215 area, and then it came back down, and the 9 and the VWAP held again. So your confirmation is that this second candle held after this first little push up. So it held over this support of the VWAP and the 9. And then your third candle, which is where I got in, I think at. Yeah, didn't I get in a third candle? Right here at $2. Yeah, I got in on this third candle. And at that point, I mean, you've got it confirmed it's above the VWAP and the 9. So you're confirmed it's bullish at this point. And so getting that entry at 2, I was like, this is a good entry. And then I've got the support of the VWAP and the 9, which has already confirmed itself as support because it held up here, and it held up here. So we actually had 3 candles of confirmation, but I wanted to see it over 2. And this candle, actually, the bottom, right here, the way candles work, the bottom of the candle on a red candle, that's where it closes at. The top of the candle of a green candle, that's where it closes at. So it's kind of vice versa. Green candle, it'll open at the bottom and close at the top. Red candles open at the top of the actual candle body, not the wicks. The wicks are just little extra movements, but that's where this candle opened at. And it dropped down, bounced off, and closed above $2. So, that was a good confirmation that it's going to be that is closing above $2. So that's kind of you kind of have to know how candles work. You don't have to know all the secret sneaky patterns of candles. Like there's a lot of candle patterns like inverted hammers and all that stuff. I don't use all that because it's a lot of extra complications I don't really think I need. I mean, I didn't need it on this play. But knowing where the candles are opening and closing at, that's where you're going to figure out your confirmation to get, a safer entry. But sometimes you can get confirmation and the stock will still drop. So that's what I was saying in the beginning. It's kind of tricky. It's like, in this market right now where we don't have a lot of predictability because it's so volatile, your confirmation might just, like this could have easily just dropped and sold off. But so, okay, I know what you're saying. So on the resistance, so a lot of your resistance, here's the thing with resistance. You got to think of resistance as a place where people are going to be selling it. So like
you have to find some reason for people to be selling at an area. And the only way to really tell if an area is going to be resistance is if it's sold a lot at that area before. So the moving averages are resistance. You know, that's your technical resistance. And then you have natural support and resistance every 25 cents. So every 25 cents in the market, a dollar, $1.25, $1.50, $1.75, $2, $2.25, $2.50. Those are always going to be some type of support and resistance, and they're natural because psychologically it's a lot easier to figure out how much money you're making if you're adding, you know, by quarters instead of like 17 cents. Like if a stock goes up 17 cents, you're not going to be able to quickly think in your head like, oh, I just made on 300 shares on 17 cents. Like, what's the math on that? I can't even think of that right now, but I'd have to actually sit there for a second and focus on it. But anyway, you know, that's weird, but 300 shares times 25 cents, you know, that's a little bit easier in an equation. You know, you're 3 times 25 is 75. So you're going to have those areas where that it can hold up in those areas. And if you look at the chart, you can see different areas. Like right here, the top of this candle where the stock opened, it was 350. So 350 would be some resistance. But then you also have the moving average right there in that same area. So you know that it's got held up at 350, and back here it's got held up at 350. You can draw this line straight across these candles. So you can see right here, this stock, it bounced off of 350. It dropped down and then it closed right at 350. And then it got held up here at 350, and it got held up here at 350, and then it got held up here at 350, and then it got held up here at 350, and now the 100-day moving average is telling us that there's probably going to be some resistance there, because these moving averages, all they are, and that's why I say they're guidelines, they're not strict. They're just guidelines of support and resistance in the past. So we know we have the natural resistance at 350. We know we have the guideline indicator past chart resistance at 350. So you just want to look on your charts and stuff, and you can see it even goes back further than that on this 350. Right here, this 350 area was kind of support. The stock bounced right here in this area. 350 held up as support, and it goes on a nice run. Now, once you crack below 350, that old support becomes new resistance. So we've got, you know, we can see 350 is very tough on this chart. So I mean, you're looking back there and looking at that, and then you're also going to be looking at your intraday chart, and we can see in pre-market, like we know 350 was really tough. It's probably not going to get to 350. So looking at it here, where are we at? You know, where's all the resistance at looking at this? We got some right here at 227, which is that 225 area, which was what I was saying was, you know, there was some resistance there, and that's where I was kind of looking to get out at, that 225, 230 area. So if I could draw a straight line with Thinkorswim, but you can see the stock bounced here, came down, hit here, bounced here, you know, so we know 225 is going to be area. Then we look at the intraday chart, our 5-minute chart. It come up a little bit higher than 225, but you know, it didn't hold 225. So we knew 225 was going to be some resistance, broke through, but it dropped right back down. And it started coming up again, and that it kind of got hung up right there. And we can look at that and say, okay, it got hung up here. So we draw a line straight across there. Now we can see 215 is resistance. So we've got that whoops. Man, that was a perfect line too. I'm really sad I just deleted that line. So yeah, you can see right there, 215 is resistance. So you're going to be using all this resistance, and then like we said, you know, 225, and then every 25 cents is some type of resistance. So we can draw a line right there at 250, and you can see what happened there at 250. It did break over 250, but it ended up coming right back down and closed under 250 on this candle. So 250 is resistance. This candle comes up, hits that resistance, comes back down. So now we know we have 250 resistance. $3 is another one. $3 is another 25 cents, and then of course 275 as well. But you know, and that's kind of where the top of that wick was at 275 area. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of support and resistance. Yeah, exactly. And listen to One Life, what he's saying here, too. Like, see, you can draw all these lines out on your charts. The reason I don't is because I usually can see them pretty clearly because I've been doing it long enough. Like, the longer you do it, the longer you're spotting out support and resistance, the easier it becomes to just look at a chart and see it. Like, sometimes I have to, like, look for a second, kind of draw lines for a second just to confirm that's where I thought it was at. But, you know, you can do this every morning. You're going to have a bunch of lines on your charts, but if you're having issues with support and resistance, just draw your lines in pre-market where all the support and resistance could be. And then now when you do that, you're trading a graph basically. So you look right here, it comes up to so we got the $2 was some resistance. We knew that because $2 is another whole number. So you draw a line right across there, and you can see the stock was kind of in that $2 area. It got held up a couple of times. It was testing that $2 support, hit that 215 resistance, came back down, tested the $2 support again. So now it cracked the $2 support. So $2 is now resistance again. And so you can see here on all these candles, this one hit $2, this one hit $2, and then we finally break through $2, and we have those candles, and we have that confirmation showing, okay, $2 was support, then it was resistance, now it's back to support again. So we can buy there because it's shown that that's a strong area of support. You know, it was strong resistance, it was strong support, but it's confirmed now that it's going to be strong support. So then you just follow it up. You're like, okay, this 215 wasn't a big deal. This candle busted through it. Like it slowed down a little bit there, but it busted through it, no problem. All right, and you look back, it busted through 215 back here, no problem. It only got held up once with 215, so we know 215 is not that strong of resistance. And then so you get another move up to that 225 area, and it tested at 225, blew right through it. And then the next candle opened up above that 225 resistance. So now you know that 225 resistance is support. And you can see this candle actually hit right where that 225 was at, and so did the 9 in the VWAP. So the 9 in the VWAP is going to act like your support and resistance as well. But once you I know it sounds kind of complicated, but it's really not. Like if you're still having trouble with it, think of it as a floor and a ceiling. Like if you're in Mortal Kombat, say you're playing Mortal Kombat, everybody's playing Mortal Kombat. If you uppercut Scorpion through the roof is going to be your resistance. But when you break through that resistance, you know, the body flies through the ceiling, and then they drop back down and they land on the floor of that new level on Mortal Kombat. So you're on a new level, and that floor is the support, and now the next ceiling is your next resistance line. So if you think about like that, like you're uppercutting Scorpion up the through the ceiling, and then you're beating him up on the next level, and then say he gets you and knocks you back down the floor, or back down through the floor, so now you're back down to the level you started on. Like, it's just floors and ceilings. That's all support and resistance is, and you're just looking to where they're at, and you can figure out how strong they're going to be by also looking at the time and sales and level 2. So you're going to incorporate all your support and resistance lines with your time and sales and level 2 here. And that's why you saw me on SLCK canceling my sell orders, because I was watching, because I knew 215 was resistance, but I saw there was very few sellers on the ask at 215. So I said, well, that's not going to be that strong. So it broke through. And then we got up to 225, and I kept seeing 225 getting taken out pretty easy on the ask, and we know it's resistance. So you're just looking back and forth. You know, you're using all of it together as support and resistance to figure out your entries and exits. So I hope I explained that clearly enough, because I know it's kind of all over the place, but I wasn't expecting to do a support and resistance lesson this morning. I mean, it's fine, but I just wasn't expecting to, so I didn't really have my thoughts prepared for that. But yeah, but there's a couple of videos on support and resistance in the library or in the playlist, and you can check those out. if you're having problems. They'll explain it a little bit clearer and a little bit better, I think, than me trying to explain it right here off the cuff. But yeah, you've got natural support and resistance, you got indicator support and resistance, and then natural, indicator, and past chart. So past chart is just, like I said, looking back at the chart. Like you can see on GMPX back here, this stock got held up right in this area. It got held up there, dropped down, came back up, got held up, dropped down, came back up, broke over this $2 resistance that was past chart resistance, made this big run, but now this $2 area was holding up as support because that old resistance turns into new support. So, old resistance turns into new support, old support turns into new resistance. So that's the other thing you got to realize. But yeah, like one live saying, you got to figure out your risk and reward. And because, like I said, $2 held up, you know, as support through pre-market, I knew my risk was I was only going to risk about, you know, 5 to 10 cents below that $2 mark, below the VWAP and stuff. Like, I'm not going to risk much, because if it doesn't hold up $2, then where's the next line going to be at? $1.70 down here. You can see right here. You can draw that across there. So that would be $1.70 support if this $2 that confirms doesn't hold. So that would be 30 cents I would be risking if $2 didn't hold up. So that's why I was saying I was only wanting to risk about 5 to 10 cents in that area. But we had also been all the way up to 250 today in pre-market, 245. So I knew it had the range to try to at least get back up to maybe this 215 area, maybe 225 area, you know, somewhere in there. Whew, there's a lot of talking. But yeah, hopefully that made some sense. Now GMPX, look here. Let's support and resistance this guy. So far these two candles have held up here. So let's just draw a line and see what else is doing. What else is similar? What candles are hitting at this same similar line? If I could draw a line worth a damn. There we go. So we know we got a little support here because this is held up. But it held up as support right here because this candle dropped down. And then it tested, but it came back up and bounced off of it. And then you can see it was resistance back here in pre-market. So it came up, and then see, you can even do like this. Oops. So this was resistance in pre-market, and it has become support in market. So we have some support here. So it could look for an entry here possibly. And this is what I was waiting on to kind of see what GMPX was going to do after this run. So now I want to see if this keeps holding up and we start making a move back up, which we kind of have. If you look, this bottom of this candle, which it still has 3 minutes, so we don't know for sure. But it's possible this could start making, you know, a little bit of momentum up for maybe another move up. So now we want to wait. We want to wait and see this support confirm a little bit longer and see if it can test the VWAP and the 9 EMA and see if it can break that. Because, you know, $4 every 25 cents natural support and resistance. So you just draw your line right there across $4. And you can see some of these candles got hung up at $4. Now the 9 and the VWAP are at $4. So then where's your next line? You have a little bit right here at this 410 area. And can you see why we have a little bit? Because the top of this candle got held up there. Top of this candle couldn't break through. This candle got squished. And then this is when it sold off. So we got resistance at $4, 410 ahead of us. Now where's next resistance at? And let's look back on the chart too. Let's make sure we're not missing anything on the chart. So 410. look at it a little closer here. So a little bit at 415, because if you draw that line right across there, at that 415 area, if I can, there we go. And when you draw on your chart up here, you'll also put the line down here if you've got your charts locked up there. So we have a lot of resistance ahead right here, you know. And you can see right there on the ask, we're looking at the ask, we said $4 is resistance. There's some big sellers sitting right there at $4. You know, there's like 30-something thousand shares on one sell order. And then right there's 4,000 shares. So we are trying to push up through that resistance. And that's where we want to see if it can, you know, if it keeps testing that 4 and keeps kind of curling back up, then we might could get an entry and see if it can bust through all this resistance. Because if it busts through all this resistance, your next area is going to be 450 or 445. It's in that 445 area where the tops of these, basically kind of where the top of this wick is, the top of this candle body, the top of this candle body. So we have some room if $4 starts pushing through to move all the way back up to 450. So it's 50 cents possibly in there. And then we got that 380 something support. So, you know, you want to have a tight stop loss, but you just got to, you know, kind of figure all that out ahead of time. That's how you make your trading plan of what you want to do is where's the support and resistance, where's going to be a good entry and a good exit. And that's what you're using all the support and resistance for, is good entries and exits. Now that we've done this, though, we can see that we are also in a channel. We're in this range, this trading range between $4 and $4.50. So we're in this channel right now. So it hit the 450 channel top there, hit the 450 channel top here. So if this breaks out again, then if it hits 450 again, it could break. This would be the third touch of resistance at 450, and we might could see it up to $5. Possibly. So I may start looking for an entry here in a second. Like, you could wait for $4 for it to break over $4 and $4 to hold. That would be your confirmation area. Because right now, $4 is still resistance. So if you get in now, you know, you don't know for sure if it's going to ever get back above that $4 area. $3.89, $3.82. So when does this candle close? We got 3 minutes for this candle to close. So I'm going to let it close, because if we test, you know, if we start testing the bottom of this channel again, then it could sell off. So that's what I'm waiting on. Waiting to show me a little bit more strength on this stock. See how CLSK doing. CLSK actually had a nice little bounce off the VWAP in the 9. Possibility it could get going again. Let's see, did any of these other ones do anything? RVP actually did not too bad. 415 to 480 on this continuation on RVP, so that actually worked out decently. MARK selling off, which is not surprising because we don't have a press release. This had a lot of volume, but volume is not a catalyst. Volume is just volume. So you need an actual catalyst if you want some type of breakout. Like, this was a nice run, you know, yesterday on MARK, but it's just selling off now because what was the reason for it to run like that? There's not a reason, so. So let's see if we can get another entry on something somewhere. Right now, GMPX is still kind of in no man's land. We don't know what it's going to do yet. And we got a minute left for this candle to close. All right, Epic. Thanks for joining as always. Good job today, buddy. Have a great rest of your day at work. For sure. We will be here. We'll be back tomorrow. Every day the market is open. We'll try to get another win tomorrow. But yeah, at this point, I'm not, I've got plenty of funds available, so I'm not going to force anything. I'm just going to sit back, let things move around, do what they're going to do. Let's see, SGBX. Damn, SGBX all the way back down to $5. That's pretty low. That's a pretty big sell-off for this. Well, it's got that common offering, though. So, yeah, never mind on that. I don't want to deal with that. Look at the SPY bouncing. SPY all the way back up to 290 almost. So now that we've got a trend line on the SPY, this is for long term. As long as this trend line holds up, you can get some decent value buys on some long term stocks when it comes back down to this trend line. Listen, I used to look at the 1 minute chart. I really did. But like One Life said, you get a better picture on the 5 minute, because the 1 minute, sometimes you get these random moves and stuff. Like you can see the 450 resistance there and stuff, but like this had a quick little drop out. And a lot of times on a 1 minute, I find myself getting shaken out of plays real easily. Whereas the 5 minute gives you more. It gives you, I don't know, because the 1 minute does give you more detail, but the 5 minute gives you more of a flow of the stock. And that could be true too for your entries and exits on the 1 minute. But I mean, I haven't even been using the 1 minute. Like I've been using the 5 minute. And I'm enjoying using the 5 minute because it keeps me from hopping in. Because here's the thing. Here's the reason why I'm not using the 1 minute. Because you can see here on 1 minute, this is like two little green candles moving up. And it's like, oh man, maybe this is going to keep ripping. It doesn't look like it's ripping that hard. But then you look at the 5 minute, you can see this is one big candle and it had a big upper wick. See, this upper wick means that the selling pressure was too heavy, and so you have this sell-off next. So on the 5 minute, I can look and see and be like, okay, after 5 minutes, I know this is fixing to sell off because it had a lot of selling pressure at the top of this candle. So I don't know. To me, it just seems to flow better with the stocks themselves and their prices. I mean, you can use either one. It's just personally here in the last, and I've only started doing this in the last couple of months, where I've been using strictly the 5. Oh, the countdown for the candle. Well, candles, because we're on a 5 minute chart, each candle is 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes is going to be when the candle closes and the next candle opens. So I'm looking at the clock at the top of Thinkorswim, and I know it's not going to be weird. Like it's going to, a candle's going to open at 10 o'clock. It's going to close at 10:05. The next candle will open at 10:05. It'll close at 10:10. So every 5 minutes I can just look, and see how much longer we've got for the candle to close. Because we're on a 5 minute chart, so you just look at what time it is every 5 minutes. Oh, okay, gotcha. 10 o'clock, 10:05, 10:15, 10:20. Yeah, it's that simple. See, that's the thing. That's the thing with day trading. So many people overcomplicate it, and they think that there's so much complicated stuff to it, but there's really, if you just make things simple as possible on yourself and only let the things that are complicated be complicated, then it becomes a lot easier. And there's a lot of gurus and stuff out there that will try to sell you these complicated courses, and they do that because you can make a course out of anything. I could sit here and say, oh, this pattern on this daily chart up here is a possum tail. Like this right here is the possum's butthole, and then this is the tail right here. Look at this possum tail. This possum tail pattern, it has a big breakout, but you got to be following these different moving averages, these rainbow moving averages in the possum butt to make you can just make stuff up and sell it to people, and they'll buy it because they don't know any better. The stock market can be very complicated if you make it that way. Hey, you too, Sways. Appreciate you joining me, buddy, as always. Have a great rest of your day, sir. We'll see you tomorrow. But that's why I make fun of, yeah, exactly. What Hadley said, sure, you can make that pattern if you want to. I don't want to say it because my live stream might get demonetized, so I try to be careful what I say now that my channel's monetized. I don't want to demonetize a video because some of my past videos got demonetized as soon as they went up, so trying to avoid that. But yeah, like One Life said, it's between, I was gonna say 99% really. Like day trading is so mental. It's not so much about learning how to day trade. Like learning how to day trade is easy. It's actually executing day trades that is difficult because it's all in your mind. Like you guys saw it this morning on CLSK. I was trying to work my entries and exits out on GMPX and CLSK, and I was struggling with my FOMO of missing out on GMPX, and I just tried to keep myself in check. Just stay disciplined. Okay, you missed that original entry right here at 368 on GMPX, and this move all the way up to 432. I mean, it was a 70-cent move right there that I missed, and I was like, there's going to be another opportunity. So it's all in your head. Like, it really is. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. For me, like, some people can shut all that off easily. They can go in, stay disciplined. They got a plan. It's no problem. They're like robots. Me, I'm not it's hard for me to do that. Like, it's really hard for me to do that. I really struggle with it. And anybody who's been in the chat for a long time, like One Life or Sways or Daniel B or Jerry Powell, there's been, a couple of guys who've been around for a while, and Dom, they've seen me multiple times just lose my mind and go off and do something crazy. And it's like, why did you do that? I don't know. Because I'm crazy. That's why. So I struggle with it. Some traders don't struggle with it. Some traders kind of struggle with it. But I'm in that group of traders that have a really hard time. I mean, I've been doing this for over 5 years now, something like that, 5 or 6 years. And I still struggle with it to this day. I've gotten better in the past couple of months because I've really been focusing on it. But it's rough. Thank you, Dexter. I appreciate that. That's the thing. See, I can teach people how to day trade all day. But when it comes to me executing it myself, we saw Josh Totem today, his first $100 day. First $100 day. Josh has been in the chat learning from me and One Life and Daniel B and some of the other guys in the chat. He's been learning and studying on his own, and he finally hit his first $100 day. I have no problems explaining how to do this thing. But when it comes to me executing trades, that's where the things, it's not so much knowledge anymore because I know what I'm supposed to do. It's whether or not I control myself and do it. And that's going to be the biggest thing for a lot of new traders because you get so excited. When you start off in the markets, you're like extremely excited. And you're like, oh, I want to buy, make so much money. And then you start losing money because you really don't know what you're doing. And you get FOMO and you buy GMPX up here at 455 and you're like, why did this come down on me? I just lost a bunch of money. That happens. So you gotta learning support and resistance, all the things you gotta learn about day trading, you can learn that. There's no problem learning it. It's executing. Executing, like One Life said, is like 99% mental. Like it's all in your head. And if you can take all that out by being more strategic and disciplined, by marking out, drawing out all your support and resistance lines, figure out your entries and exits before you even get in the stock, then you got a good chance. Because you want to take as much as the emotion out of it as possible with science. You know, the science of day trading. If you really focus on, let's take all the emotion out, strictly focus on the technical analysis and all that, then you can take that emotion out. Now it looks like CLSK is coming back up. GMPX still trying to hold this bottom channel support. MARK, we'll take that off the list. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with moving averages, because like I was saying earlier about Guru selling you a package, you can make any moving average you want to. You can make the 571 day moving average if you want to. You can do that. But how many traders are looking at the 571 day moving average? Nobody is. The most used moving averages are the 9, the 20. Some people use the 13, you know, but the 9, the 13, and the 20, they're all pretty close. And you can see on my daily chart up here, the 9 is the green, actually the 20 is the purple. So they're pretty close to each other. You know, sometimes they'll spread out a little bit, but the closer the days are, so like 9, 13, 20, they're all going to be really similar. And then the more days, the further back you go, the 50 is your next one. And it's a little spaced out than the 100-day and the 200-day. So that's pretty much what most people use. I mean, you don't have, like, you don't have to use as many if you don't want to. You could just use the 9, the 50, and the 200. Or just use the 9, the 100, and the 200. And it's up to you. I just have recently liked putting all the 9, the 20, 50, 100, and 200 on here because I see a lot better areas where support and resistance might be. And of course, on my 1 minute, I keep the 200 because the 200 is the strongest. What you have to realize with moving averages is because it's past history, the more history you have, the more accurate it's going to be, right? The more information you have on a science problem, the more able the better you're able to get that accuracy. So 200 days of history and a moving average, that's a lot of information in that moving average. So it's going to be pretty accurate and it's going to be pretty strong. And that's why you see a lot of stocks have a hard time with even getting over the 200 day. And so the 9, the 20, the 13, you know, that's not a lot of information. It's just the past, 9 days or past 13 days or past 20 days. So not a lot there. And it gives you kind of a good idea, but it's not quite as accurate as the 200 day. Once again, see, the SMA is simple moving average. So simple, it's in the calculations. There's a way to calculate. There's a formula that comes up with the moving average, and it's basically the close of the price over the past 9 days or the past 15 days or past 20 days, whatever. But with the exponential moving average, the EMA, there's a little bit more math to the formula, so it's a little bit more accurate, because if you have a simple laptop, it's going to be simple. It's not going to be great. It's going to be basic. It's going to be like, okay, this will work. But if you have like a gaming laptop, that's exponential power, computing power. So now you have a moving average that is exponential, so it's more accurate. So you guys are wearing me out today. But I like it. I'm glad we got so many people in the chat. Hopefully that answered your question on that, though. That's it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem, guys. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm saying, you just have to think of things kind of literal with day trading. Like you did, like I said, if you can simplify everything that can be simplified, then all you have to do is focus on the complicated things with day trading. And the complicated things with day trading are the emotions. It's you. You are the complicated thing. That's why algorithm trading is so big in and you know the stock market and forex and stuff, because if you have a robot or a computer trading for you, that computer doesn't get emotional. And that's why a lot of billionaires and millionaires continually get rich, because they got algorithms trading their money. And there's no emotion in that. The computer executes. The computer's not going to have a second thought about selling out of this stock if it drops below 226. You know, if it drops below the VWAP, the computer's going to execute that trade and it's out. It's going to have precise targets on everything. So, people are what move the stock market. I said that in the latest video I put out. You know, the algorithms, yes, they do move stocks too, but when it comes to day trading low float penny stocks and stuff like this, like we're trading, it's people. You know, that's what's moving these stocks. And even higher price stocks. If you look at One Life messaged me earlier, what was it? Wayfair. That's what he said was running crazy. So Wayfair went on a nasty rip in pre-market. 130 to 180. Why did it do that? They got earnings. So apparently people either thought the earnings were better than they expected or not quite as bad as they expected. They got a coronavirus sales boost. I don't know if they're doing coronavirus sales or not, but they got a boost from the quarantine. So I guess earnings were better. So people saw that and they got excited. They're like, oh, Wayfair's earnings are better. Let's buy this. And they push it up. So it's people that move stocks. And the more that you can not be a people, the better you'll be at day trading. You want to be a robot. You want to be an algorithm, and that's tough. That's where all the toughness is in day trading. I don't know why I'm on RVP. So, GMPX is held up again. It's held up this support. CLSK. I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying that. CLSK. Been struggling with that all day. Nothing there yet. Nothing quite yet. See, the way this is looking to me is if this can keep on holding up support and then start making a move back up towards $4. And if it can get above $4 and $4 can hold us some support, then that would be a decent entry. So that's what I'm trying to wait on and see. Because, I mean, you could, like I said, you could get in here at this support, but it's been testing this support and it could sell off at any time. So we need the stock to show some strength, to show that this support is great, that it's not going to go anywhere, and we needed to make new support at $4. So that's what I'm waiting on. And we probably got about 30 minutes before that happens. So, alright guys, I've been sitting here for a while now. It's been like an hour and a half. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to take a little breather, take a little intermission, and then we'll come back and look for some more stuff. I'll answer any more questions that I'm able to answer, and we'll go from there. All right. So another thing I was thinking about, I just thought about, is something that I'm personally working on, and this is because of the market is so volatile right now because we are in this, this uncertain time where the coronavirus and the economy is all messed up, and China war and oil things, like so much is going on right now, but it's an election year. There's always something in election years, but anyway, we have very volatile markets. And something, because I struggle with emotions already, the one thing that has been getting me is I'll be thinking about the day before what I did wrong and all that stuff. And then I'll see, the stock might rip big on Monday, but then Tuesday, nothing might rip. You might have a quick little pop up or something. And so it's been killing me. The volatility has really been killing my trading because it's been messing with my mental state so hard, from where I'm thinking, okay, Monday's hot, looks like it's going to be a hot week, and then Tuesday nothing happens. I mean, we really haven't had that big of a rip today. Our biggest gainer is CLSK, and it's only 86%. It might have got to 100 right up here at 285. So I don't. That's what I'm getting at. I don't. And I just, like, the last 2 days, I've really tried to focus on this, not thinking about the day before. The only thing that I'm looking at from the day before is we knew RVP ran. RVP ran really big. And it held up. Well, not really big, but it went on a nice run. Well, actually, it did go, $3 to $5. That's a pretty good rip. That's a big rip. But it didn't sell off that much during pre-market. So, or after hours and pre-market. So that's why I had on my watch list this morning. But I wasn't thinking about this, like today I wasn't thinking about, okay, we saw a big rip on RVP yesterday. We might see another big rip on GMPX. I tried to put that out of my mind. So what I'm trying to do is focus on trading the day that is current, the current day. Like, I don't want to think about what happened yesterday. I don't want to think, maybe things are going to rip big. I want to get all that out of my head. I'm trading the day of what the market gives me. And that helped me today so far. I'm up $45 in profit, 46. And I still have funds to trade. I probably could have got a trade on this, but I was explaining stuff, but that's all right. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm trying to stay very disciplined and not think about the day before, and just focus on today's trading. What is the market going to give me today? Because it's so volatile, it's changing. Every day is different. The rips are different. Some press releases might work Monday. Those press releases might not be good today. So that's what I'm trying to do. Because in a stable market, usually you'll have like 1 month of a trend. Like, it'll be all, low floats with positive phase 3s, biopharma stocks that'll be ripping all month. So that makes it a little bit easier. But in a very volatile market, it changes day to day. So you got to focus on day to day. But I don't do any research for the next day in terms of news reports. I don't do that. I wait till the morning of in pre-market. I get up at 7, my time, Central Time, so I get up at 7, and I'll take a look, and then I'll go start getting ready, and then I'll come back around like 7:45, take another little look, start building my watch list, and then I'll look at like 8:05, and then I start adding to my watch list some more, and then I start taking things off that I don't like. So I don't do any prior day research. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. One life nailed it on the head right there. We're trading penny stocks. We're not trading big blue chip stocks. So a lot of the stuff, the Warren Buffett strategies, all that stuff, it's not going to apply to these penny stocks, because this is the thing. Stocks between 50 cents and $10, for the most part, especially low float ones, are garbage. And I can show you why I say this. You can see CLSK. Wow, one time, God, what a run that was. the month of September, it did go from $13.99 to $150, but you can see it's never had like a constant trading range. You know, CLSK went sideways, and you know, we're looking all the way back at 2017 now. It went sideways for a while, dipped down for a while, had a massive rip, and then it's been coming down since then. That's not, you know, if you look at Apple over the long term has went straight up. You know, it's been on this nice consistent climb. And those are the type of blue chip stocks where fundamentals and all that come in handy. But with penny stocks, you know, it's technical analysis. Same thing with GMPX. There is nothing consistent about this chart up here. Like nothing whatsoever. You know, you had a big rip, big sell-off, ugly sideways, and now it's just kind of been bouncing around in this area. Not a stock you would invest in long term. So most of these stocks are garbage. You're only looking I don't yeah, no, I don't do that. I've never even heard of anybody doing that. No, my watch list changes every day. I'm not looking at any stocks from a month ago. I'm not even looking at stocks from 5 days ago most of the time on my watch list. Like I said, RVP yesterday because it had the big move, but that's it, you know. I'm not looking at it. Uh, I'm not looking at it before that. What's going on here? Okay. So I could care less what stock was doing what 30 days ago as far as day trading goes. Like I don't care. I don't care what happens 30 days ago. Other than looking at support and resistance. But whatever a stock did 30 days ago, you know, exactly. Forget about them until they come back on the scanner in the future. Until they come back out with another press release and they have volume. You know, the only things we're looking for is volume and catalyst. And your catalyst is a press release or a really good chart pattern. And until they show us that, we're not trading them. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing you got to think about. Remember I said you want to not be a people. Because people are what move stocks. And you want to be one of the algorithms. You want to be a robot. You don't want to be emotional. So if you're thinking about a stock from 30 days ago, you're being emotional. You're not being a robot. So we as day traders, we don't care. We don't care about what a stock did 30 days ago or any of that. We're looking for what's going to move today. What's happening today? Especially in a very volatile market. What is going on today? And we'll give the stream about 20 minutes here. I probably won't make a trade today from what it's... I mean, I probably won't make another trade. Because, whoops. GMPX is really testing the support. And it's probably going to crack. And it may come back down some more. But, yeah, I probably won't make another trade today. I'm not going to force anything. I mean, I'm on a cash account. So, I mean, I still got $600 to trade with. If I just wait tomorrow... Until tomorrow, I have 1,000 whatever I traded with yesterday will be with that. So, you know, I don't have to make 2 trades a day. You know, I'm happy with one little profit today. That's good. That's a decent little profit. So yeah, if there's any more questions, suggestions, or ideas, get those in. Like I said, we'll give the stream about 20 more minutes, unless something crazy happens, but. I gotta take my dog to the vet today. He's due for his shots. So I don't have a lot more time to even try to look for a trade. I mean, you sound like you got a plan there. I mean, you got to plan it. you know, your entry's at 389, your stop loss is at 372, which it's a little bit of a spread on your stop loss, but I don't know how many shares you're trading with. So like, you know, if you were trading with 1,000 shares, a 17-cent stop loss would be pretty rough because that means you'd be risking $170. But I don't know like I said, I don't know how many shares you're trading with. So if you've only got 100 shares, that's it's a $17 risk for a potential. What your price target's 410. So you're risking $17. Are you risking 17 cents to make? If my math could work, 150 shares. Oh, you actually do have a bit of shares on this. 10 cents. 20. So 21 cents. So you're risking. So here's what you got to work on. You're risking 17 cents to make 21 cents. That's a 1-to-1 risk ratio. That's not the best ratio. I mean, I know what you're looking for. You was trying to buy at support. You got in at 389. I don't know where you got in at. Maybe on this candle here. Or maybe one of these candles back here. So, I mean, your risk ratio on this is not great. And you can see 380 starting to hold up as a little resistance. But, you know, at this point, you're already in it. 150 shares, 17 cents. You're risking about $25. You're risking $25 to make probably about $35 or $33, something like that. Yeah, the better your risk reward is, like 2-to-1. Like if you're only risking, 10. If you was risking like 5 cents on this to try to make 21 cents, that'd be a 1-to-4 ratio. That'd be a lot better ratio. So, but at this point you're already down 5 cents a share. But yeah, the better your risk reward could be. I'm not even familiar with the IRS wash sell rules. I've never even heard of that. I don't do my own taxes though. Like I have somebody I pay to do my taxes, so I've never heard of that rule. I'm not familiar with that. I mean the odds of you buying the same stock and selling at a loss and then buying back in within 30 days, those are pretty low odds because normally stocks don't run that much. Like, I don't know. I've never heard of that. I have no way to answer that because honestly, I have no idea. I've never ran into that, if that's an issue, if that's a thing, but I don't know if I've ever done the scenario before or not. That's pretty specific. So that's a question for maybe a tax person because I don't know. Maybe I can look that up. I don't understand that at all. I don't think it would add to your cost basis though. Because if you sold it 30 days before, your cost basis, I mean, like my Thinkorswim, my profit, loss, open, and P&L, that it resets every day. So yeah, Aurora. You bought in at 370. Whew. Anastasia, my friend, you've held this guy for a long time if you bought in at 370. I mean, at this point, at this point, I don't know. I mean, I personally think Aurora has some potential for the future eventually. You know, if they make it through the coronavirus and everything, you know, they're doing this reverse split, which is a good thing for them. Reverse splits really is not a good thing, but they diluted the hell out of this stock over the past couple of years. So doing a reverse split kind of cleans up some of that dilution. So, I mean, at this point, you're down so much on this stock. I don't even know if it's worth it to even cut your losses or try to hold it and see, you know, maybe Aurora one day does turn everything around and Canada's legislation loosens up a little bit more and they can make more money. Like, I don't know. Like, that's a tough spot. I mean, you're down so much. You're down $3 a share. I don't know how much money you have in it. But, like, that's tough. That's real tough. Because if you cut your losses now, you're done with it. You know, and you've lost a whole lot. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. What One Life said. At this point, you might as well forget you own it and check back in 5 years. So, you got 2,000 shares. Woo! So you're down about $6,000 right now on Aurora. Ouch. Oh, you're down 2K. Still, that's still quite a drop. I mean, I kind of agree with One Life. I think at this point you're down so much. You know, you might as well hold it. Because, I mean, the lowest it's been is 60 cents in the past year. So, when they do this reverse stock split, see, here's what you got to understand, too. When they do this reverse stock split, hold on a second. Let me see something. GMPX is starting to come back up here. So, actually, I may look for an entry on this in a second. Back to Aurora, though. Like, 12 to 1, the price is going to go up, but the amount of shares you have are going to decrease. So how many ever shares you have, divide that by 12, and that's the amount of shares you're going to have when this does the reverse stock split. But it's really hard to say what's going to happen after that reverse stock split. I mean, the good thing is they're doing it, so it's going to keep them listed on the NASDAQ. That's a good thing. And like I said, I'm not against Aurora. I think Aurora has a lot of potential eventually if they can hang in there. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe just hold on at this point because you're not risking much more money than you've already lost. If it doesn't work out, it's a tough lesson that you had to learn. But, you know, if it does work out, just remember that is the lesson. You don't want to hold stocks that long. Cannabis stocks are tricky too, man. It's such a new sector. Like, it's not like cannabis stocks have been around forever. They've only been around for like 5 or 6 years or something. That's what got me into trading is cannabis stocks. So, like, I'm bullish overall on legal cannabis, but not every legal cannabis stock is going to make it to that point. So that's what you got to look at. Or study a lot more, you know. If you know, like that's one piece of advice to do, but study a lot more and don't study anything to do with penny stocks or anything like that. Like if you're long-term investing right now, you want to be investing in stocks that have a future. For sure. I mean, like Aurora could have a future, but at the same time, like Afra might get bigger than Aurora or put Aurora out of business. So you never know. Like Aurora has competition. It has Canopy Growth's competition. It has Afra's competition. So we don't have a lot of volume on this, but I'm thinking about. Actually, I might go smaller on this. I might just go 100 shares on this if I go. See, this candle closes in about a minute and a half, so I'm gonna wait and see how this candle closes. Yeah, hoping that's the thing. See, even long term stocks, you don't want to be hoping on stocks. Daniel B is absolutely correct about that. Like if you're hoping, you're probably going to take a loss. You got to have plans in place, even for your long term investments. Yeah, Daniel is back. Daniel's cool. He's fine. He's just chilling. So let's see. So let's see if this is going to break through Ford. A lot of selling at Ford. There was 50,000 share seller at $4 on this. So before I even think about an entry, I want to see that get taken out. You got 30 seconds for this candle to close, but I like how we're starting to get a little bit of buying back in here. It's starting to kind of come back up. Yeah, you don't want to be gambling too much. You kind of want to have a plan. I mean, pot stocks are tricky. Like I said, they're so new. Like you really don't know which ones are going to survive, and that's what makes them difficult. Like you got to look at how much money they're making, how much potential they have in the future, things like that. Oh, it's starting to pop up a little bit here. See if I can get filled at 4. Whoops. My time on sale just moved up. Let's see if I can get filled at $4 here, maybe. And then I'm going to risk about 10 cents on this. If I can get filled. I may not get filled here. So starting to get a little bit of volume back in here. Like I used to be invested in Aurora cannabis myself. I bought Aurora back 5 years ago when it was $2 a share before it went on the massive run, and I made a little bit of profit on that. But I might have missed my entry on this, but I mean, you still got a few minutes for this to close, so. Uh, but like Aurora, like you bought in at 370, you should have been keeping an eye, like if it's like cracked 350 or something, probably to get out, because you can always get back in long term. You know what I mean? Like if you hop out of a stock because it's going the other way, you know, try to save a little bit by getting out pretty soon. You know, like I said, that 350 area on Aurora was probably some support. I don't know if I'm going to get filled here or not, but uh, but yeah, that's what you kind of got to look at. Actually, let me see something here. How many times have we... I think it's probably still worth it. I'm gonna try to get in here. Actually, I want to see where this candle closes. Got 2 minutes for this candle to close, and then I might try to get in here. Yeah, for sure. Like, if you're new to investing and trading, you don't want to be buying. You don't want to be putting a lot of money in the stock market. Like, start with a small amount. Like, if you're investing long term, you know, start with like $50. You know, buy a few stocks, see how they do over a 6 month period, and then if you got some that are doing good, you know, and study during that time too. Study and learn what to be looking at, because you can look. It's very simple to find a lot about a company just by going to Yahoo Finance statistics, because you can see their balance sheet, you can see their, you know, their quarterly growth, you can see their revenues, you can see a lot of stuff just by taking that simple step. And if you got a stock that's got 10 billion in debt and they've only got a million in cash, that's probably not a good stock to invest in. You know what I mean? Just by looking at that, you can tell. But for long-term investments, for me, my personal thing is I want them to look like Apple. You know, over a long period of time, over, you know, this max period of time, I want it to look like Apple. I want my stocks to be on a constant uptrend, you know, over a long period of time. That means they're growing as a company. Because if you got them going all over the place, kind of like Aurora did, and you look at Aurora, Aurora was all over the place. You know, initially it started to climb, but then it just sold off right through here. You know, it never kept up on its climb. It had a big drop off. So that's what you got to kind of look at. You want to be buying stocks that show long-term strength. But there's more to it than that. I'm just saying there's some easy, simple ways to look at things. I'm going to get in here on this. I've got it at 405. VWAP's right here at 401. And that's right there. So I'm going to put a stop loss at 394. So I'm going to risk about 10 cents. And I'm only going 100 shares, so I'm risking $10 on this, to see if it's going to try to climb back up to 450. Whoops, and I just got took out there. I was just thinking that right at that second. I thought I should have put, man, I knew it. I knew I should have went a little bit lower with my stop loss. That's unfortunate. That was really unfortunate. Oh well, it could just sell off now at this point, so that might have saved me anyway. Because it dipped down right there to my stop loss. Oh well. Oh. Yeah, I see the head and shoulders pattern now. You got a shoulder here, you got a head here, and then you got a shoulder here starting to form, kind of. It's kind of an awkward Head and Shoulders though, but yeah. Yeah, oh well, whatever. My stop loss got hit, so I'm out of it. Done. Not a big deal. I still got the win on CLSAK, so I'm still green on the day, so not a big deal. I gave it a chance. Ooh. Ooh, ouchie. See, that's where you need to get away from, Anastasia. You need to stop trying to go long term on penny stocks. I must have just, I think I was just saying that penny stocks are garbage right before you joined the stream, probably. But most penny stocks are garbage. Yeah, a Head and Shoulders pattern. A Head and Shoulders pattern is pretty. Like, yeah, so it comes up. This is your arm. This is your shoulder. So you have a shoulder, or maybe you want to call this the shoulder, something like that. But this is a shoulder. You got a head, which is the top. If I had a better way to draw it, I would draw it so you can see what I mean. And then this is another kind of shoulder forming. And if this is a shoulder, if this is a head and shoulders pattern, so you got shoulder, head, shoulder, then it'll drop back off down like the beginning of this. It'll make that last arm of the Head and Shoulders pattern, and it'll be a big drop off. So. But it's just another pattern. It's been around forever as a pattern, the old Head and Shoulders. Sometimes, I don't know, it's a weird pattern. But a lot of times it is correct. And I did not see that, or I wouldn't even jumped in on this. Because it's a weird pattern. Like, I don't really look for it that much, but I guess I should be, because it would have saved me $11 just now. if that shoulder continues to form. But yeah, Anastasia, you don't want to be buying penny stocks. Let me get back to that. Let me go over this one more time, and then we're going to call it a day. This is GMPX. This is a penny stock. Let's look at the max. Oh, this is the max. There's no consistency in this chart. RVP, no consistency except for a downtrend. RVP's been on a downtrend since 2002. So, garbage stock. CLSAK, sideways and then downtrend. So, like, penny stocks are garbage. There's very few penny stocks that you're going to be able to get into and hold long term. And you have to really do a lot of research on that to figure it out. Now, like, I like stuff a little bit higher. Like, this is Duke Reality. This is a REIT. Duke Reality, since 1988, has been on an uptrend. You know? It did have a big sell-off there, but they started doing a dividend. And it might have been when some type of laws or something. Oh, no, that was because of the 2008 market crash. It's had a big sell-off. That's normal, but it's been on an uptrend again. So you want stocks that are trending up in your long term. I mean, don't go buy Duke Realty without doing your own research first, but I was just using that as an example. Same thing I showed you Apple, AAPL. Apple, been building up. Microsoft, you know, same thing, going up. AMD. AMD is a little bit sketchier. It's had some bigger, quicker moves, but AMD's kind of, you know, it's been around long enough. It's solidified itself as a chip maker. But yeah. But yeah, let's see, what's another long-term stock? Let me think. In a different industry. Because all I'm doing is I'm showing you tech stocks. Google. The Goog. See at Google, same thing. So, if stocks are not on this path, if they're penny stocks and they're all over the place, they're up and down, they're on downtrends, you don't have a consistent stock that you can hold long term to make gains. Because what you're looking for is this consistency. This is how you make money long term. If you bought back here in 2005 on Google, you got it at $50 and you've just been holding it. It's been going nicely up, because Google's strong stock. Everybody can be a little different with entries, but yeah, One Life and I both kind of are trying to get stocks at the 9 EMA. But I mean, you don't want to just buy at the 9 EMA any random time either. Like the reason why this was a decent entry right here is because the stock had momentum up. So you just had this big rip and you get a nice big pullback and then 9 EMA holds up, then you can get a nice little move there. Same thing with this. It dropped down, then we saw the 9 EMA hold up and you get this nice move up. So what I was looking at, because I didn't even look at the head and shoulders pattern, what I was looking at on this was, okay, this candle closed above the 9. This candle closed above the 9. So I had two candles confirming above the 9 again, that the 9 is some type of, support or whatever. And now, it had a sell-off right here where I got stopped out at. And then it still has a possibility if it can get over the VWAP. But it needs to get over the VWAP very soon because right now we're looking like a shoulder. But what I didn't wait for was the VWAP to confirm. If this candle... this candle did close over the VWAP, but if I'd have waited for this candle, then I would have saw that the VWAP was not going to hold, and I could have held off getting in this. I didn't wait for a confirmation. Let's watch what he was saying. One Life trying to lend his expertise. Yeah, I was about to say, One Life, you probably told him already. There's been, One Life's been on streams and Portfolio Power Up. He's probably said it plenty of times. Don't listen to Daniel B. That's crazy talk. So here's the thing, because I'm going to agree with Daniel B. I know what he's getting at. I know what he's getting at right now, and that this is a lot of nonsense. These indicators and all that stuff. Like he doesn't look at any of that. Daniel B. trades purely price action and volume. So he doesn't care about moving averages or none of that. And it is very possible to trade like that. Like you can trade very simply. You can have nothing on your chart if you want to. Like if I take all this stuff off, then you can just have a blank chart and you can trade that. You can see the support and resistance as well. You don't need, like if you can see it, then you don't need these indicators really. But indicators, they can help, if you're newer to trading. But once you get a good understanding of support and resistance and price action and volume, once you have that good understanding, you really don't need any of this. So One Life, you switched over to no indicators but one. Now, when I started this channel, the only indicator I used was the VWAP on my 1 minute chart. And then I only used the 9, the 50, and the 200 on my daily chart. But like I said, they're guidelines. They're not, these indicators are more of guidelines than they are strict, rules. Like you can see, like if you took all these indicators off, you could see a lot of this support and resistance without these indicators. So, but if you're a newer trader, until you really got a good grasp of support and resistance, those indicators will be guidelines to show you where it is. Because that's all they are. I mean, all they are is just guidelines, just making it kind of easier, you know. But they can make it more complicated. If you don't understand what these guidelines mean, then it's going to be very complicated. Exactly. That's what I said. I agree with you, Daniel B. I agree with you on that. And I said that in the new video. I said it's people. I said strategies don't matter. Patterns don't matter. None of that stuff really matters. It's all about people that move the stocks. So when you can take away all these indicators and all that stuff and see this support and resistance, and you can see the price action, and you can see everything without having to have these indicators and stuff, then, you know, you can trade the chart just plain chart. So I think they have their uses. Daniel B would disagree. But I think they have their uses, but they shouldn't be like you should be able to look at a chart and see support and resistance after doing, you know, after trading for a good while, and you should be able to trade without these indicators too at the same time. So, but all right, guys, I got to get going. It is getting late. Appreciate everybody joining me. A lot of good insights today. Some profits made in the some profits made. Let's see what's CLCK doing. Oh yeah, starting to come back up. Very nice. I'll give Daniel B a second to. That's why I stopped. That's why I stopped what I was saying, because I know what you're about to do. So go ahead and do that. Go ahead and give them your words of advice, because Daniel B's a very good trader. Daniel B's about to try to school everybody here. Yeah, I'll check into those rules. But yeah, you too, Anastasia. Have a great day. Appreciate you joining. You no problem, Keith. Appreciate you joining. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow, hopefully. I'm gonna let the stream go for a few more minutes while Daniel B drops some knowledge, because this is gonna be some valuable knowledge he's about to drop if he's talking about what I think he's gonna point out what I think he's gonna point out. Yeah, don't thank me. Just get to it, Daniel. I'm hungry. You know the hunger monster starts growing around this time. I'm starving. Oh, let me fix my chart here too. While we're waiting on Daniel, eventually I would like myself to get off of all the indicators. I'd like to get off of using all the indicators eventually. But right now, my main concern is my struggle with my emotions and my discipline. So I'm trying to use those to keep me disciplined until I can till I feel like I have a good hold of everything as a person, as a mental trader. Yeah, GMPX looks like it might sell off. Daniel B, do you want me to call you on Skype right now? Do you want me to patch you in on Skype so you can explain this instead of typing it? Will that help? Because I can do that real quick. I can throw you in on the live stream if that'll help. You can hit me with a hammer. What does that mean? You're not even gonna say what you were gonna say? You're not gonna. Wow. What a tease. I don't have a course. I don't sell a course. Why are you saying buy my course? I don't have a course. I don't sell anything. Come on, Daniel B. Don't be a Scrooge, man. Come on. Drop your secret knowledge. All right. Well, I guess Daniel B is not. Daniel B built up that whole thing where he build up all that talking, and then he wants to. Yeah, people are the same. Yeah. There's no secret formula. I think what Daniel B was getting at, I'll just go ahead and say what I think. I think. How good I can go. I think what he was getting at, if you take off these indicators, you know, and you just got this plain chart and you're looking at this, people are buying this stock. The stock has been moving up, had a nice healthy pullback. It's moving up, nice healthy pullback. So you've got buying, yes, a little bit of selling, buying, a little bit of selling. So you have strength in the stock. You have people buying it. So if a lot of people are buying it, you know, a lot of volume is coming in, a lot of people keep buying it, it keeps pushing up. So without looking at all the indicators and stuff, you know, at the break of $2, without seeing the indicators, you knew $2 was going to be resistance, and you could have bought that, you know, there on that, you know, people are coming in and buying it up. So you have the growth of buying volume, then some selling, and buying volume, a little bit of selling, but you have a lot more buying volume in the stock than you do selling. So that's why it's continually climbed. But yeah, I think that's what he was trying to get at, is that you don't need anything to trade this stock. You could have just looked at it and said, okay, people were buying it. Simple as that. you know. I don't know exactly what his details was going to be or anything like that, but I think that's what he was getting at. Was that what you were getting at, Daniel B? Is that it's a healthy moving stock and the buyers are outweighing the sellers. So until yeah, it is an uptrend for sure. Like you can just draw a trend line straight on it and play that trend line. I was just trying to get to what Daniel B was talking about, but 90% I was right. Well, like I said, I didn't know exactly what you were going for, but I figured that's what you were talking about. I don't know what the other 10% is I'm missing. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe that's the key that I'm missing is the 10% that Daniel B knows. But no. Basically, he's just saying if you can see clearly that the buying volume is outweighing the selling. See, One Life, you might get it. I mean, it's holding a 9 so far. All right, guys. I got to go. Appreciate everybody joining me. We'll be back here tomorrow for another day of trading. You guys have a great rest of your day. And, yeah, till next time.